Those farms, the deer farms, that's one of the primary ideas of the source of CWD, right?
No.
They think that a lot of it comes from deer farms.
Nope, it came from Colorado Department of Wildlife.
What do you mean?
1967, they injected scapies, which is the sheep version of the spongiform encephalectomy, into the mule deer in 1967, and they got out. That's where it started.
Why did they inject them?
I cannot imagine bureaucrats being assholes, I suspect. And so
they're
that
doing it for some sort of experiment?
I don't know. You know that sheep were more popular in America than cattle. There were way more sheep than cattle until scapies came in, which is that CWD version for sheep, mad cow in bovines, and Creutzfeldt-Jakob in humans. And of course, Creutzfeldt-Jakob was a result the scientists determined by the scientists Creutzfeldt and Jacob that the Indonesian people that got this spongiform condition from a mutated prion because they ate the brains of their conquered enemies, which is never a good idea. So I'm aware of all this stuff, but believe me when I tell you, live on the Joe Rogan podcast, the CWD hysteria is a scam. More deer are killed in Michigan every year by feral dogs than all the deer ever worldwide by CWD.
I think the concern, though, with CWD is that it's spreading.
It's not spreading.
My friend Doug, his farm in Wisconsin, they're just starting to test positive for CWD. They're just starting to get
why?
animals.
Because they're looking for it.
Well, it's not just that. They were looking for it before, but they think that it's come from animals that get out of these high-fence farm operations where they all feed from the same trough, and they spread this from there.
I think there's no evidence to support that. Dr. James Kroll just testified with me in front of the Michigan Natural Resource Commission and Department of Natural Resources, and all the exhaustive studies have concluded that CWD cannot be cross species. You can't get it by eating.
A person can't get it.
Person can't get it. They had macaw monkeys get it, but that's because they injected massive quantities into the brain of the macaw monkey. Otherwise, they couldn't get it. But CWD, Wisconsin spent $70 million. I'm not making that number up. Wisconsin spent $70 million, tried to eradicate certain herds, which is a virtual impossibility, by the way, and even if you were successful, the mutated prion, they stay in the ground, typically through urine.
Yeah.
And
it becomes a part of plants as well.
There is no evidence whatsoever that CWD has ever compromised a cervid herd. There's been no reduced seasons even in the epicenter, the endemic area of Colorado and Wyoming, where it started, where it's the most prevalent. No seasons have been reduced, no reduced in tags, no reduced in harvest. It's inconsequential. It occurs so rarely. They've studied the deer for 18 years in Wisconsin, and deer that had CWD 18 years collared and monitored still having fawns. They say it's always fatal. It is not always fatal. Go to Dr. Deer /Facebook, either drdeer.com/Facebook or Facebook.
So you're not worried about it at all? What do you think
I'm worried about bureaucrats that have scared away hunters in Wisconsin and caused butchers to quit processing deer because of the manufactured hysteria. CWD is not a concern. Buicks kill more deer than CWD. The bureaucrats go in and slaughter deer by the thousands. So if CWD has killed 58 deer in Michigan, which it has, they found, I don't think any of them were fatal. I think they had to kill them. Though they did find one in Jackson County, they claim. I don't believe them. I just don't believe bureaucrats. Remember, these are the bureaucrats, Joe, in Michigan that claimed that there were, quote, 5,000 to 7,000 Russian boar running wild in Michigan. Can we analyze that claim for a moment? Maybe you can tell me, Joe, what the fuck is a Russian boar? I'll tell you what a Russian boar is. It's a male pig in Russia.
Yeah.
There's no such genus as a Russian boar. It's all wife's tale bullshit.
Right.
And that was the official statement by a game agency in Michigan. Lying sons of bitches. And then they claimed, and here's another one. So isn't it our moral and spiritual obligation to wisely use the animals we harvest? Isn't it?
Yes.
In Michigan, the farmers can slaughter sandhill cranes, which are known as ribeye in the sky, right?
It's supposed to be delicious.
It is. Farmers in Michigan can shoot sandhill cranes, but by law are not allowed to eat them.
What?
Is this a game department you can trust?
Wait a minute.
No, I will
You're
not wait a
allowed
minute. You heard me right.
You're not allowed to eat
And
sandhill cranes?
this game department is going to try to tell me about wildlife management when they claim there were 6,000 to 7,000 Russian-born. By the way, let's say there were 6,000, 5,000 to 7,000 wild pigs in Michigan back when they claimed it in the 90s. You know how many that would be today? Show me some game cameras, 800,000 deer hunters in Michigan. What is there, 10, 20,000 game cameras? It's a lie. CWD is a lie. CWD has killed 58 deer in Michigan, so they claim. The DNR has authorized the slaughter of tens of thousands. Who's the enemy of the deer hunter? The bureaucrats are. I'm telling you, in Michigan, they have lost their souls. It's a heartbreaker.
I can't understand the rationale for not eating sandhill cranes.
There is none.
What are they saying? When you shoot them, you have to just let them rot?
You have to bury them
So
or let them rot.
You're shooting them as a nuisance animal? Is that the idea?
Even if that's the idea. But here's the truth. Here's the guitar
so
player
they don't
will
have
help.
tags.
The guitar player will help out
Okay.
here. If there's enough sandhill cranes for farmers to shoot, open the season, sell licenses, create a management plan, and show some decency and respect, and let us eat the ribeye in the sky, you stupid bastards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, see, I'm confrontational now because I've been confronted with an offensive, a criminal law that forbids us to utilize God's precious protein. It's bizarre world.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No sense.
It doesn't make any sense that the mourning dove, the picture of the dove on millions of boxes of ammo in Michigan, there's a picture of a dove and it says game load. But the Michigan DNR will say, oh, no. That's a songbird. You can't shoot them and eat them. It's Planet of the Apes.
It's
Cuckoo's
from
Nest.
people that don't have any background whatsoever in wildlife or hunting.
But they're trained biologists.
But that's different, right? And they're influenced by politicians, bureaucrats.
They're liars.
That question, too, of wild boar. Like, whenever I go to a restaurant, it says, like, wild boar sausage. I'm like, how do you know it was a male?
Yeah.
You don't know it was a male. Why are you calling it a boar?
That's right.
It's wild pig.
It's
it
a
sounds
pig.
sexy.
Yeah.
So you go, Russian boars. We have 8,000 Russian boars. What are they, gay?
Yeah.
They're out there in the woods banging each other?
Thank
Where's the girls?
God they're all males.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they did have 8,000 boars, and they're all going, where's the fucking chicks?
But how can a game department use that kind of terminology?
Yeah, it's a real problem.
With a straight face.
It's a real problem. When they speak about it that way, you immediately dismiss what they're saying because they're not being accurate. They're not being accurate with describing what the animal is.
And you're inclined to dismiss anything they say.
So you're only allowed to shoot those sandhill cranes as a nuisance animal. You can't shoot them and eat them.
It's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And by the way, they're everywhere. There's plenty of sandhill cranes in Michigan to open the season. And a lot of people go, a lot of you ever talk to senators and congressmen, they go, well, you can't shoot sandhill cranes. I went, it's a game bird, you dirtbag.
You need to cook it for them.
Yeah.
I watched the episode of Ranella's show when they were cooking it. I was like, that looks like a steak.
Beef. It's prime
a red
rib.
animal.
Yes.
It's red meat. Yeah.
It's just tragic. And in California, you can't eat mountain lions. You got to bury them.
You can't eat them.
It's
so
just
even if you shot one with a depredation permit, you have to bury it?
That's right.
Wow.
That's indecent.
It
and
is
that's why I'm
indecent. It's a waste of the animal.
That's why I'm confrontational.
Yeah.
I'm confronting indecency and trying to get some honesty involved. And you can't do it by backing off and being Mitt Romney-like and bring a doily to a grenade fight.
It's a doily.
I like to bring an A-10 warthog to a poker game.